Gymnasium here in Guangzhou. The sun's setting. We're into the evening there. The venue, the Tian He Gymnasium, which was opened on the 30th of June 2001. So a lovely arena, 10,000 capacity, used for the 2010 Asian Games and of course the 2013 World Badminton Championships. And now it has become the venue for the World Tour finals. So after the women's singles, we turn our attention now to men's singles and a Group A match between the two-time world champion Kento Momota, beaten in the final here last year, but he did win the end-of-year championship 4 years ago. He's up against a debutante, and that's WANG Tzu Wei of Chinese Taipei. Two courts in action all the way through this tournament. WANG Tzu Wei, who's had a very busy year, I'll tell you more about that in a moment, fresh from victory at the Said Modi Super 300 event. That was a little over a week ago. Kento Momota, who won the Player of the Year award, the Male Player of the Year. And when we look at the groups, I was telling you that it was WANG Tzu Wei's first ever appearance at the World Tour finals. In fact, 3 players are making their first appearance at the end-of-year championships, and all 3 are in Group A. Jonathan Christie, Anders Antonsen and WANG Tzu Wei. 2 World Championship medalists in Group A, that's obviously Momota, and the silver medalist Anders Antonsen. In the other group, the Group B, the 2 medalists, 2 of the 3 medalists from the Olympic Games in Rio. That's the gold medalist Chen Long, who is a 2-time former winner of this event, and Victor Axelsen, the Olympic bronze medalist, who is also a 2-time winner of the end-of-year championship. They, in fact, played earlier today. It was 3 games, and it was Chen Long, the Olympic champion, who won that one. So like the women's singles, well, like all 5 disciplines, these groups are incredibly strong. Well, when we look at the career win-loss record of these 2 players, Kento Momota has the most astonishing record in finals. His career win-loss record translates into 34 tournament finals, having won 29 titles. WANG Tzu Wei has been in 11 finals and has won just 3 titles. So quite a difference in the overall career stats of the 2 players. For Kento Momota, of course, he's had the most extraordinary year. Not only won his 2nd consecutive world title, he has won 10 titles in total. He's been in 9 World Tour tournament finals, winning 8 titles. This man, at the last World Tour event of 2019, in Lucknow, he won his first title of the year, being in his first final for almost 28 months, and it was his first title at a ranking tournament since the Dutch Grand Prix 3 years and 2 months ago. So a great return to form for this man, WANG Tzu Wei, after terrible back injury at the end of last year. So wonderful to see him back in good form. So as you can see, this will be the 4th meeting between the 2 players, and WANG Tzu Wei has only won 1 game across all 3 previous matches, and that was in the last time they met, which was in the first round of the French Open in Paris earlier this year. 21-16 in the deciding game in 1 hour and 19 minutes. So the left-hander, the 2-time world champion, is 25 years of age, from Kagawa on the island of Shikoku, the smallest of the 4 main islands that make up Japan. 4th appearance here, and of his previous 3 appearances, 2 finals, which is pretty astonishing. Won the title in 2015, beating Victor Axelsen in the final. And then last year lost in the final to Shi Uchi. 2014, he also played at the end-of-year championships. Enjoying his 64th consecutive week as world #1. And he finished the year as world #1, having finished last year's race to Guangzhou at #2 on the list. WANG Tzu Wei is 24 years of age, born in Taipei, and currently 19 in the world ranking, but did spend a total of 9 weeks at #10 across 3 different spells. As I was telling you, this is his first appearance at the end-of-year championships. So after all of his injury woes, it really is wonderful to see WANG Tzu Wei back on the big stage once more. And if some of you aren't all that familiar with WANG Tzu Wei, I can tell you that he's already had 2 victories over the great Lin Dan and 2 victories over Chen Long in tournaments in the past. In fact, beat Chen Long in the first round of the Thailand Super 500 earlier this year. So he's a class player, but had to try and work his way back up the world ranking after that serious back injury last year. Well, we saw from the 2 groups that there was 2 players from Indonesia, 2 players from Denmark, and 2 from Chinese Taipei, so 5 different nationalities in the men's singles discipline here. But the interesting thing, Steen, for the first time in the history of the end-of-year championships, and this is the 12th, we've had 2 men's singles players from Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, they've done well, Chinese Taipei, and also 2 men's doubles. And
that's the 2nd consecutive year they've had 2 men's doubles pairs in.
So strong contenders come Thomas Cup later in 2020. Hao Long-hu, the umpire from China, calling for play to get underway.
Service over 1 love.
Wow. Well, he must be overwhelming favourite for this match.
Yeah.
Kento Momota.
Love. 14, 16.
So a fun fact for our men's singles discipline here in Guangzhou, only 1 of the 8 players in the men's singles has not won a World Tour title this year. And that is?
Chen Long has.
Anthony Ginting.
Ginting hasn't. No. Had that
been in 4 finals.
Dreadful finish to the final in Hong Kong, where he was caught for being over the net. Starting out with a magnificent touch. As expected, Kento Momota. We saw that in the stats that he's in his career lost 76 matches. Now you could say that there was a year where he didn't play any matches, so he couldn't lose anyone.
But that's also one of the things that we've often discussed with Lin Dan. Some of his greatness is the few matches that he's lost. Lost 129 in his career, has Lin Dan, and most of them the last 2 years, I think.
Yeah.
Or a much bigger percentage, but 78 matches, that's not a lot.
No. And I think what's even more impressive, because of course it's been well documented that Momota was suspended on the 10th of April 2016 by his national federation for visiting an illegal casino. But since his return from suspension, he has played 37 tournaments. He's been in 27 finals, winning 22 titles from those 37 tournaments since his return from suspension. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, winning all those World Tour finals here, he should be the favorite against the field.
Mm.
Good shot. No chance of getting to that one, Wang Tzu Wei. We shouldn't get ahead of ourselves, but I think there's some tells in the body language of Wang Tzu Wei that sort of gives away that this is perhaps not the match that he's targeting in order to progress from the group stage. But on the other hand, it's Kento Momota's job to sort of keep him in that faith that nothing to gain here. You might as well focus on the next two matches you're going to play.
That's a very interesting point, actually. Very good point.
Because we know that Wang Tzu Wei, when he plays at his best, he's one of the very best net players in the world. He's got an excellent attack, very, very short racket movement, shoulder movement with his in his attack. So if he gets on a run, he can be dangerous, and that's up to Momota to make sure that he never ever starts thinking, what if I won this match?
Oh, yes. So to the mid-game interval for the world champion with an 8-point advantage. Only 5 minutes into the match. Yosuke Nakanishi, his coach. Sato.
Yeah. Coach of Momota's company team. NTT East.
Won not only 8 World Tour titles, Steen, but he's won a title at all 4 levels of the World Tour as Momota this year. Chen Yufei managed to do the same. And the only others was Fukushima and Hirota. They've done that for the second year running, winning titles at all 4 tiers of tournament.
They've had 2 amazing seasons, but I guess they would exchange all of those victories for that little extra match point at the World Championships. So far, this first game has been like, okay, when WANG Tzu Wei, he's played a couple of good shots, then he plays a really good shot as the third and a brilliant shot as the fourth, where he's thinking to himself, there I made it, and then he looks up and Momota says, no, I'm still here, I still got that as well.
Yeah. But given your comments, Steen, about, you know, if WANG Tzu Wei wants to create history, because no player from Chinese Taipei has ever been in the men's singles semi-final at the end of year championship. If he wants to progress through to the semi-final, if he's targeting his matches against Antonsen and against Jonathan Christie, I mean, normally in a situation like this, I'd be saying to you, now come on, Steve, tell me what he's got to do tactically. What should he be trying to do? But if he's really targeting his other matches because he wants to try and get through to the semi-final, is it a question of, right, this is an opportunity for me to dust down the cobwebs after being in Lucknow, get myself really in the zone?
It's basically extra on-court time in the arena, where the other players, they stopped 2 days, or they had the last 2 days. He's having one more match. And of course, I think it will always be like, hey, let's see what shows up on the other side. There might be a chance and so on. But if you sort of feel the chance is gone, well, there's no reason to get disheartened or discouraged, because no one really believed from the beginning that WANG Tzu Wei could beat Momota. So if he could play a good match, then that's just a bonus. So he should just keep on going, and we can see that he's struggling in the defense.
But an awful lot of players do.
Yeah.
Playing against Momota. Oh my goodness. Well, what an accurate net shot was that from Momota of his opponent's good net shot. That's great skill, great control.
Good little deception from Wang.
16.
Service over, 16, 19.
Oh.
Oi! That was a pity.
Well, that would have been the shot of the day, had it have worked.
Over 20, game point 60.
It's over 18. 8.
Yeah, it's a nice return of serve, accurate. So 2 points away from the opening game.
Service over
Kento Momota.
20.
Yeah, total one-way traffic so far.
Game point opportunities. Yeah.
Was a well-placed smash, but that's where you need to put them for Momota not to get them back. But even now, I mean, he's having a 28 lead, so had it been close, he might have given it a bigger effort, might have gotten it back as well.
Can 20.
Good retrieval. Not this time. So 21-10, the opening game to the former champion, Kento Momota. Opening game in just 13 minutes. So, Steen, I know you've been looking forward to my quiz question of the day.
Yes, yes.
Momota finishes the year #1 on the race to Guangzhou standings. Tell me the last men's singles player who finished the year #1 on the standings to actually go on and win the end of year championship.
Was it Victor Axelsen?
No.
He wasn't finishing no, he wasn't finishing #1. That was when he won the his second year after he won the World Championships, I was thinking. It must have been Li Wei.
No.
No? Further back?
No, you've gone too far back, I think.
Wow.
Gone too far back. Think nearer.
Not he was Then it was Dubai in 17. That was Axelsen. Then it was Axelsen before that. Then it was Momota. That was himself?
No, he wasn't. Didn't finish the #1. When Momota won the World Tour finals in Dubai, Super Series finals as they were called in 2015, he had finished #2 on the list. The last man, I'll put you out of your misery,
Yeah.
Chen Long.
Chen Long.
5 years ago, 2014.
Level. Quick.
So here we go, second game. Momota just totally dominant in that opening game against WANG Tzu Wei. So the other thing that occurs to me, Steen, with WANG Tzu Wei, not only our theory, because I agree with you, about he may be really focusing on his other 2 matches, because that's where he believes he can then book his place in the semi-final.
Yeah.
But you've also got to consider this is his 27th individual tournament of the year. He's played team competitions as well. I mean, that's a lot of badminton having been out injured.
It is. And luckily it seems like he's not had any regress with that back injury. But in all fairness, he hasn't played a full tournament in all previous 26 like Momota almost has. But it's
Apart
still
from his last one.
yeah,
Apart from his last.
his last one where he won it.
Yeah.
But it's still being on the road a lot and not having those long sessions of just practice and so on. And I guess it's I actually hope it's getting more and more common, and that the players can get better and better facilities when being at World Tour tournaments, so it's possible to play as many tournaments as we would like them to, and they would like to, because I mean that's the way they're living. And if you have a sponsor, then of course the sponsor says, why are you staying at home, why are you not playing some tournaments? But you have to have good practice possibilities.
Yeah. And not only that, a good entourage. If you think of the money that the tennis players earn in comparison to the badminton players, they can afford to take husbands and wives and physios and coaches and managers to book the practice court times and all that sort of thing. It's
and the ATP provides the physios and the doctors, where here you get, there is a physio and there is a doctor for the tournament, but that's a local doctor that doesn't know the players, whereas in tennis it's the same doctors that are traveling with the circuit, which makes a huge difference in my opinion.
Yeah, very good point.
But it's a tough year, this one. With Olympic qualification and WANG Tzu Wei, he definitely could use the points from this tournament here, because he's 19 at the moment in the world ranking. I'm not really sure what his placement is on the race to Tokyo, but he needs to get in top 16, because I mean Zhou Jintian, current world number 2, he's a sure qualifier, so he needs to be among top 16 on the world ranking list to qualify as well. And it would be sad not to have him in Tokyo, WANG Tzu Wei. One of the things that you can fear with the tournaments, the many tournaments that are played right now, you could also fear it with lesser tournaments, but it is that the players don't have this time in practice to really develop skills. I was so happy in Hong Kong when we saw Hirota and Fukushima, because I felt Fukushima had really improved on the front court. She had gotten a better player, a better badminton player, so that you're not just more efficient with the skills that you have, but you actually work throughout your career on becoming a better player. And one of the inspirations is that was Tiger Woods in golf, who took out a year to get his already fantastic swing even better, so it worked in more difficult conditions as well. And that's what I think some players should work on, instead of just accepting that this is my level.
Yeah. Well, I think this man came back from his suspension, his enforced layoff, a better player, because he had the time to develop his game. And in fact, you know...
And he also felt what it was like to be out of badminton. So that's often, sometimes we see that when players have severe injuries, they have a chance to figure out what they want to do with badminton. Some figures out that it's not that important for them, whilst others figure out that, hey, this is actually what I want to do, and I don't want to do it less than optimal. Yeah.
Well, on a run of 7 straight points to Momota, we go to the mid-game interval. with a 6-point advantage.
風の環境下でそういう結構いいから自信持って球出すにしても自信持ってその後レシーブまでロビング出したら1回レシーブです自分ペース
Call 1:15 seconds. Call 1 second.
でもなんか全部後ろをやりすぎると向こうも後ろ張ってくると思うから。ワンジャンプ。
11-5. Play.
Just missed it.
That is over 6-11.
快一点，他很快，前场反击也很快。
Oh, my goodness.
That is over 12.
He's not concealing anything, WANG Tzu Wei.
No.
Was just showing Momota just how good that deception was with his body language there. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can see he's not got weak legs, has he?
No.
But his legs looked a little like Bambi there.
Exactly.
13-6.
5 blocked. Blocked.
14-6.
Yeah. Do you notice he has still got some strapping on his back? Did you see that?
Yeah,
Sting?
yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Well,
Precaution.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah.
Service over. 1-6.
15-6.
11 of the last 12 points.
Yeah, and the last shot there was a shot like, hey, okay, now I've been here and I know I'm not going to win this match, so.
Yeah.
But that's also a statement from Momota that he's totally sort of discouraging his opponent, and we often hear people say, hey, or players say, yeah, I can beat anybody on a good day. Okay, if you can that, then beat WANG Tzu Wei the way Kento Momota disposes of him here.
Yeah.
Then I'll listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it pretty much means I can beat anybody if I catch them on a really bad day.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is over 7-17.
8.
And that's another part, I think, of the story of Momota's season, how dominant he's been. I know he's lost matches, but when he's won tournaments, I just feel he's been in total control, even when clearly not at his best
Yeah.
due to fatigue or injury or whatever it is.
That's a good point. Because we've seen him struggle through tournaments
Yeah.
and
Still win.
and still finds a way to win. He's already bettered what he did last year. 10 finals, 7 titles last year. 11 finals already this year. 10 titles. Yeah.
Service over 8-18.
Service over 10.
So basically most of the coaches for the other players or the players themselves, they could ask themselves, what have I done today to get closer to Kento MOMOTA?
8.
2 points away from the win for the two-time world champion. That's short. Yeah. Match point opportunities.
Match point 8.
We're making that just about 28 minutes so far. Good block. There. A moment of defiance from WANG Tzu Wei.
20.
For 20 seconds. For 20 seconds. Coaches between the pairs.
Yeah, this time threaded it down the line, and that's a very, very impressive performance from Kento MOMOTA. 21-10, 21-9, the margin of his victory. The victory in under 30 minutes. Just watch this final smash. Look at that. That's what you call precision. Magnificent. Well, he looks in terrific form, doesn't he? So the victory for Kento MOMOTA, 21-10, 21-9 in under 30 minutes. So it really is a magnificent venue, the